Over the years, Nigerian elections has often been characterized by electoral malpractice. Does that mean that the constitution is blind to this?
But can you say that it is the constitution that implements the law itself? No.
Morning, everybody. All right, you're all welcome to this Education Television Nigeria debate. My name is Queen Oyerunke Blessing Amoo, and I'm going to be moderating this program today. Thank you. Here today we have our esteemed judges, also from Edu TV. I have with me here Mr. Abraham Iyolawi. You can see him there. Also, I have Mr. Olaoni Kehinde Emmanuel. And the chief judge for today is none other person but Mr. Okpeyemi Olaoluwa. Please celebrate him. Thank you. All right, two schools are involved in today's debate, and that is Roseful International Schools. Please celebrate yourself. And the Global Leader Academy. Celebrate yourself. All right, you are all welcome. From the Roseful International School, I have some members of staff that are here with us. I have Mr. Azaka Augustine. You are welcome, sir. I also have Mr. Dosumu Babawale. And I have a very beautiful woman who will be joining the judges as the timekeeper of today in person of, okay. Please allow me mention her name. Mrs. Kuku Ben. All right, you are welcome. And from Global Leaders Academy, I have Mr. Damilola Egbedayo. You are welcome. And I also have Mr. Ajibade Gideon. All right, before I move further, behind the camera, the man that will make all these things we are doing to go viral today, I have Mr. Ida Thomas. That's our media man. All right, thank you. So, I have the debaters, the special people that will be coming to this podium to stand for and against the motion, the debate today. On the topic, is the current Nigeria Constitution a barrier to Nigeria's development? The debaters from Roseful International School will be standing for the debate topic, while the debaters from Global Academy will be standing against. Am I correct? All right, thank you. Now, let me introduce our debaters. From Roseful International School, I have the chief speaker, Atumbi Jesu Fikume. As I call your name, please take your seat up here on the stage. Please, let's celebrate him. You are welcome, Jesu Fikume. And the other speaker from Roseful International School is Arogudade Jafar. Thank you. All right, from Global Leader Academy, I have my chief speaker, Olamiju Timilei. You're welcome. And the supporting speaker is Adeogun Aliyah. Oh, this arrangement is a special one. It is kings versus queens. So, okay. The topic once again is the current Nigerian constitution a barrier to Nigeria's development. So I am here this morning as the moderator to see to it that we have a very conducive environment, that this debate focuses on the key issues, and that this place is organized. And I want to implore all of our audience to please give your full support to our debaters. Let there be full attention. Whether you agree or disagree with their points, let's give them our maximum support, because this is a critical topic that goes into the future of our nation. Whether this constitution is limiting the progress, while one speaker will be speaking for and the other will be speaking against. I want us to have our maximum attention. Thank you.
Good morning, esteemed debaters, honorable judges, and respected audience. Welcome to today's debate on the topic, is the current Nigerian constitution a barrier to Nigeria's development? That's the topic for today's debate. And as the adjudicator, my role is to ensure a fair, respectful debate time allocation. Each chief speaker will have 6 minutes, while supporting speaker will have 4 minutes. Then we have 2 minutes each for your rebuttals. I'll take that again. Each chief speaker will have 6 minutes, while supporting speaker will have 4 minutes. Then you have just 2 minutes each for your rebuttals. However, you're going to be having a warning bell. As the chief speaker, you have your warning bell 5 minutes into your speech. Now, rules and guidelines. Number 1, respect. Maintain civility and respect towards opponents, judges, and audience members. Timekeeping. Adhere to allocated times. Okay, speakers exceeding time limit will be politely interrupted and penalized. Number 3, argumentation. Focus on logical reasoning, evidence-based arguments, and respectful counter-arguments. Number 4, Number 5, no interruptions. Okay, please make sure you don't interrupt any of the speakers. Allow speakers to finish their statement without interruption. Then number 6, rebuttals. Address specific points from opponent arguments. I believe you're all aware of that. Then let's go straight to the judging criteria. We have number 1, argument strength and coherence. Okay, ensure that your arguments are strong and make sure there is coherence. All right. Then evidence quality and relevance. Okay, present to us facts and figures. I mean, verifiable facts and figures. Very important. Number 3, refutation and counter arguments must be effective. All right. Then your delivery style and engagement also matter, please. Then the last one is respect and sportsmanship. I believe I've mentioned that earlier. All right. Now moving on to the debate procedure. The first speaker from the affirmative or the negative team will present opening statements. Then supporting speakers for each team will present next. Then any participant from each school will present rebuttals. Consequences of rule violation. Failure to adhere to rules may result in time penalties or deduction of points. So please take note of that. Now let's proceed to the debates, ensuring a productive and respectful exchange of ideas. Now, final reminder, debaters, please listen to this. Be clear, concise, and persuasive in your speeches, okay? Then engage with opponents' arguments. Then lastly, show respect and professionalism. Audience, please, this is for you. Remain impartial and refrain from interruptions. I will say that again. Audience, please refrain from interruptions and please remain impartial. So, let the debates begin. God bless you all. Thank you.
Imagine a country rich in resources, brimming with potential, yet shackled by its own laws.
Laws that were imposed around the voices of people and that stifled the very dreams of the citizens. Good morning, distinguished
Judges, fellow debaters, and honored audience. My name is Atubi Jesofikomi, and I stand before you to affirm the motion that the current Nigeria Constitution is indeed a barrier to Nigeria's development. The 1999 Constitution, while established with the intent of providing structure and unity, falls short in promoting genuine growth, equity, and representation. I will demonstrate how its inherent weaknesses in structure, origin, and content have stagnated Nigeria's potential, stifling economic, political, and social development. One of the major critiques about the Nigeria Constitution is its lack of legitimacy. Drafted under military rule, the Constitution does not reflect the will of the Nigerian people, as there was no broad-based consultation or referendum. A democratic constitution, by definition, must reflect the aspiration of its citizens. Yet, the 1999 document was imposed without any proper public input. This lack of legitimacy undermines its authority, creating a disconnect between the government and the people, thereby limiting trust and engagement in government. According to a report by the National Bureau of Statistics in 2018, only 27% of Nigerians expressed their confidence in their government, a clear indication that many feel alienated from the laws that they abide by. And when citizens feel excluded from the very laws that they abide by, progress and unity become nearly impossible. Another major flaw in the 1999 Constitution is the over-centralization of power within the federal government, which limits the autonomy of local government and state governments. Nigeria is an ethnically and culturally diverse nation, and its development requires a flexible approach that requires regions to make decisions that directly benefit the regions. However, the Constitution centralizes control over key sectors, including education, security, infrastructure, and natural resources, limiting states with limited power to make impactful decisions. This innovation will hinder national growth, and thereby will hinder national growth, causing states not to independently make decisions that directly benefit their communities. For instance, during the Boko Haram insurgency in Northeast, it was recorded that local governments were often sidelined in decision-making processes. And according to Amnesty International in 2015, this lack of local involvement contributed to delays in effective responses that could have mitigated violence and suffering. The Nigerian Constitution also falls short in addressing key areas of social welfare. It does not prioritize access to quality healthcare, education, and social protection, which are essential for national development. While Chapter 2 of the Constitution outlines fundamental objectives and directive principles, these are not enforceable by the law. Imagine a young girl named Amina from northern Nigeria, who dreams of becoming a medical doctor, but is denied access to quality education due to some systemic failures rooted in our constitution. This is the dream of millions of people just like Amina, whose ambition are stifled not by lack of ambition, but by an outdated legal document that fails to prioritize their future. The Constitution's exclusive legislatively further exemplifies the limitations imposed by centralization. By placing key sectors such as mining, electricity generation, and transportation exclusively under federal control, the Constitution limits states' ability to contribute meaningfully to economic development. For example, Nigeria has vast mineral resources worth billions of dollars, yet they remain untapped because of the federal control rights over mining rights. This centralized economic structure hinders the capitalization of mineral resources that will be essential for the development of our country. Instead of fostering competition and innovation among states, the exclusive list creates bottlenecks that can limit and slow national progress. From the affirmation, we can easily deduce that the premise of the 1999 Nigeria Constitution is not merely an outdated document, but but a fundamental obstacle to Nigeria's development. If Nigeria is to unlock its full potential, it is imperative that we reform or replace this constitution with one that genuinely reflects the will of the people, empowers local governments to develop independently, and enshrines social and economic rights which are necessary for a national growth. Only through this transformation can Nigeria transcend and move towards a unified, just, and prosperous future. Thank you.
Can you live in a country without laws? No. How can you say that the laws that keep you safe are the same laws that hinder your progress? Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and fellow students. My name is Olamjut Mulain. I am a representative of Global Leaders Academy. I am here to answer the question which states, is the current Nigerian constitution a barrier to national development? My answer is capital no. To begin with, I would love to define my key points, which are constitution, barrier, and development. Constitution is a system of laws and basic principles in which a state or country is governed. Barrier is a situation or problem that stops the progression of something. Development is the gradual growth of something so that it becomes more advanced and stronger. To begin with, which constitution are we using in Nigeria? We are using the 1999, the current constitution in Nigeria is the 1999 Republican Constitution, which was implemented on May 29, 1999. It has its historical context, federal structure, separation of power, which is between the executive, legislature, and judiciary. We have the fundamental human rights, which was enlisted in Chapter 5 of the Constitution. We have our amendment process, which is the passing by of bill in the House of Assembly, and political parties and election. However, the following points I will explain, or the following factors I will explain, collectively shows how the current Nigerian Constitution does not hinder or is not a barrier to national development. 1. Electoral integrity. The establishment of an independent electoral commission encourages free and fair elections, which is essential for political stability and public trust in government, and it leads to national development. This means that elections are held without intimidation, allowing all eligible voters, either disabled, even if you are a woman, you can vote once you are 18 years and you have your voter's card. It allows all eligible voters to participate during the election. When citizens believe that the election is fair and their votes are counted, it leads to their participation in civic engagement. This leads me to my next point, which is civic participation. This constitution encourages civic participation and engagement, empowering citizens to contribute to national development. This constitution also helps to maintain the rights of voters and citizens. Citizens can involve in free and fair elections, thereby choosing their leaders and influencing government policies. Individuals can also show their opinions and participate in peaceful participations to show their interest in civic participation. 3. Provision of education. We are all in an educational system now, and here standing, I am in an educational building. This constitution recognizes the essential role of education in every citizen's life, making it compulsory for the government to make free and compulsory education for citizens, which enhances human capital development, which also helps us to build future leaders. That is the reason why you see many public schools, and then there are some of our leaders who graduated from public school. Without this constitution, we will have no leader. Probably we will have leaders who can't even comprehend what simple civic education is. Fourth point, cultural rights. By protecting and recognizing cultural rights, citizens are able to, from any culture or any custom, can freely participate in national development. Because many people think, oh, I am an Igbo, I am an Emir, I am from Ibira, I cannot participate in national development. Obviously, only the three ethnic groups, which are Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, can only participate in that. But the answer is no. This constitution allows everyone, irrespective of your culture, to participate in national development. In conclusion, the current Nigerian constitution does not serve as a barrier, but rather helps in the government framework for national development. Having discussed the aforementioned issue, I can boldly say that it is highly lethargy and irresponsibility to say that the current Nigerian constitution is a barrier to national development. Thank you very much.
The question is, can a 25-year-old document cater for the needs of society? The answer is no. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my fellow students. My name is Arugdai Jabba from Roseful International High School. Here to talk on the topic is the Constitution of Nigeria hindering the national development. I strongly believe yes. I'll be asked how. One, in the area of over-centralization. The 1999 Constitution has granted the federal government excessive power when compared to the state and the local levels. And the Schedule 1 of the Nigerian Constitution clearly states that the government control key sectors of the economy. This has led to weakened government in the local levels. Using Lagos as a case study, this state generates over 1.1 billion for Nigeria on a yearly basis. Despite they can't finance social infrastructures by themselves. If I may ask, is it the president going from one meeting to another who know what is happening in the 774 local government or the 36 states in Nigeria? We know what you are going through in Osun State. We know what you are going through on Osun State or Lagos State. This is where the constitution is faulty. Secondly, you have the non-justiciable rights. When I'm talking about non-justiciable rights, I mean the right that cannot be legally enforceable. The chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution clearly states the fundamental human right of every citizen. Every child has the right to quality education, healthcare, and adequate infrastructure. But according to statistics, as of 2023, about 40% of Nigerians are dropped out. Does that mean that the 40% of Nigeria are not legal citizens of Nigeria? Many rural dwellers don't have access to quality healthcare system. Does that mean that they are outside Nigeria while it is written in our constitution? People, let's get civilized. A northern woman called Aja Amina, a mother of 3 children, is sleeping under the bridge, and her children do not have access to quality education. Does that mean that they are not citizens of Nigeria? Does that mean that they are from foreign countries? I can boldly say that the Constitution has led to the death of many innocent Nigerians. To capital of unequitable distribution of resources. The section 162 of the Nigerian Constitution clearly states that the federal government plays a substantial role in resource allocation, which has weakened development in the local levels. Taking Niger Delta, for example. Niger Delta is known as one of the states for oil producing, and they get low shares at the end of the day. If you want a better Nigeria, we have to change our constitution. I, Arugdai Jafar, stand on this podium to boldly say that the Nigerian constitution is faulty, and I say better Nigeria starts with a better constitution. Thank you.
Standing on existing protocol, my name is Adego Alia and I'm here from Global Leaders Academy. To answer the question, is Nigerian constitution a barrier to national development? My answer is no, and here are my reasons. My first reason is the fact that most people argue that Nigerian constitution fosters highly centralized system of government, thereby stifling local autonomy and hindering regional development. Critics argue that Nigerian constitution grants too much power to federal government, thereby creating inequality across Nigerian states. And especially in areas with lower political resources and less political influence. While it is true that Nigerian constitution grants significant power to the center, Nigerian constitution in fact allows for a system of federalism that aims to balance regional interests with national unity. Nigerian constitution aims to balance the country's diversity by dividing power between the federal, state, and local governments. It aims for local leadership, and even though the implementation may not always be ideal, the problem is not the structure itself, but the implementation policies that are wrong. For instance, states like Rivers and Lagos, for instance, have shown substantial growth by capitalizing their federal status. By proper will and police and proper better governance practices, Nigerian constitution can actually be a catalyst for its progress rather than a barrier. Most people also argue that Nigerian constitution does not provide a framework for economic development or a pathway for economic structure. Critics also argue that Nigerians' reliance on oil, lack of sustainable industrial policies, and so on are a result of the constitutional shortcomings. Even though that's not true, the Nigerian constitution actually allows for a framework of a mixed economy that aims for diversification and sustainable development. The real issue doesn't lie in the constitution itself, but in implementation of policies because of various states because of the lack of the government to prioritize long-term planning and effective structures in oil, education, infrastructure, and industries outside of oil. Addressing the Nigerian's economic problems doesn't lie in the constitution, but it lies in various problems like corruption, bad governance, and so on. In order to have a better country, one must address the implementation policies, the bad governance, and various factors that affect Nigeria's economy instead of a wholesale rejection of the constitution. Thank you.
All right, after the two speakers have come to tell us their points and their views, now we'll be bringing back the rebuttals to also give us their point of view. I believe the Chief Judge has told you the minutes that you'll be using. Please, let's adhere strictly to the time. Thank you.
Still on the existing protocol, I could hear when my opponent said Constitution has improved electoral integrity. Now, over the years, Nigeria's elections has often been characterized by electoral malpractice. Does that mean that the Constitution is blind to this? Does that mean that the Constitution cannot see irregularities during election? In the year 2011, when the president was elected, that is Goodluck Jonathan, there were post-electoral crisis in Lagos, Ondo State, which led to loss of lives and the destruction of properties. I could also air and mention cultural rights. There are over 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria, but yet the voices of minority are not being heard. And the voices of some cultures like Ogoni, Ijo, Ebira, Nupe, their voices are not being heard in Nigeria. Does that mean that they are not Nigerians? And lastly, justice. Justice has not been served at all. In the year 2013, there was a kidnapping case called the Chibok Girls, in which over 270 schoolgirls were kidnapped. See, now, justice has not been served. I rest my case. Thank you.
Still standing on the existing protocol. My name is Olamide Timleng. As the opponent had said that there are corruptions during elections and so on and so forth, I would boldly say that The constitution does not have anything to do with this. It is implementation matters. Most people, for example, South Africa, in their constitution, it is a requirement for them to give every citizen access to good and quality healthcare and education. But due to bad governance and corruption in the country, they are in the state of poverty right now. But can you say that it is the constitution that implements the law itself? No. The constitution is just like a book. It is a system of laws and basic principles that which a state or country is governed. It depends on the law enforcement agencies to probably implement the laws, and due to their negligence in this, you can't blame the constitution. Economic drive growth. Economy is different from constitution. Economy deals with inflation and the economies of the country, while constitution deals with basic laws and principles. So you can't say, for example, in Nigeria, during Obasanjo's regime, which was from 1999 to 2007, he made a policy and an organization which is neat to help to elevate poverty and increase the economy of Nigeria. So collectively, you can't blame the constitution of Nigeria that, okay, it's the constitution of Nigeria that really stops or it serves as a barrier to national development. Thank you.
Celebrate these people. It's not easy to stand here and stand for or against the constitution as being a barrier to Nigerians' development. While the judges are at it, because I believe they are still working on the point, I want us to note this. Please note, everyone, that in this debate, there is no winner, no loser. What we were here for is that we just want to know. We want to know this system, the law, the policy, the governance, what are the roles that they have played in the Nigerian development. And we all are seated here to also critically examine what a prosperous Nigeria should be, so that going forward, we will also know how to act, even as Nigerians. Yes, I want to celebrate all the speakers, both the debaters and the students that have come here to say one or two things. So, as I have said earlier, no winner and no loser. We are all here to learn. And now I will be handing over to the judges to also give us their view on this topic.
It's a great privilege for each and every one of us to be here today. And this opportunity is not taken for granted. And I want to appreciate both schools presented here today for this wonderful debate from Edu TV. I want to speak a little on our intonation and also our pronunciation of words. I could pick that some of us, actually most of us, both from both ends, we are not making use of the right intonation. That's the first one. And the second thing, our pronunciation of words. And I could pick that most of the words having the TH is not being articulated properly. And that is very important, because once words are not being articulated properly, it's going to send a wrong information to the people that are listening to it. For example, words that have the TH, like THIES, is this, not this. This is DIS. That is DAT, not but that. THAT is that, not that. And I could say from both schools, some of those words are not pronounced accurately, and these are the things that is very important whenever we're debating, because all those things will be looked into as small as that. And also, let's be conscious of our intonation as well. Don't forget, we are speaking English. and every language has their own intonation. That's the way you differentiate between a Yoruba man and an Igbo man and an Hausa man. Your intonation is very, very important. So let's take note of all these things, because they also contribute to our marks whenever the marks are being allocated. Thank you.
Can we please appreciate these debaters? They have done well. We can do better. We can do better. Thank you very much. Now, before I hand over the microphone to the presiding judge, I want to call your attention to few things. Now I'm talking to the debaters and our esteemed audience. For those of you who are also in training to represent your schools for different debates, you will also learn from this. Just like the moderator said earlier, this platform is an educative platform that allows you to discover and grow your potentials. Now to the debaters, let me start with your introduction. I think I heard one or two debaters introducing today's argument as stating or saying a motion that states or says. I want to bring to your attention that debate topics do not state or says. So take that into consideration in your subsequent debates. So you can't come and say, my name is Olaonike Emmanuel, and I'm here to defend, to oppose, or propose the motion that states. No. I'm here to speak in favor of the motion. Is the current Nigerian constitution a barrier to Nigerians' development? To talk on the motion, is the current. So remove the stating and saying part from your presentation of argument. 2, I will dwell more on your counter arguments. Now listen, debaters. The moment you leave your co-debaters' points unattended to, then you are leaving the judges with no option but to agree with your co-debaters. Your counter-arguments must be effective, and that is why you need to take notes as they are presenting. And for this, I think I'm going to mention school. Pardon me, I will mention school, not just affirmative or negative team. Now, from the affirmative team, Roseful International Academy, you have a very good argument. But in counter arguments, your counter argument wasn't effective enough for 2 reasons. 1, your counter argument dwells more on introduction of new points. Now that time is not a time for you to introduce a new point. No, it is a time for you to focus on your co-debaters' arguments, then water it down, giving us facts, figures if need be. And that is one side I am going to penalize you on. So Roseful didn't do well in terms of counter arguments, unlike global leaders. Global leaders focused more on the points and even a kind of a counter argument presented by the Roseful participants. So for this, I'm going to give it to Global Leaders Academy in terms of counter arguments. You've done well. But like I said, this is a learning platform. I am stating this categorically because I need an improvement from you. I believe in subsequent competitions, the sky is not just your limit for both schools, but it is your starting point. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, can we please appreciate our debaters? They have done well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So without wasting our time, I would like to say one or two things before I announce the result of today's debate. And I would like to, Mr. Abraham has spoken on intonation. Then I will just pick one or two words that were wrongly pronounced. All right? For instance, Jesu Fikumi, you pronounce the word illegal as illegal. Illegal. That word should be illegal. All right? Please take note of that subsequently. Timileyin, you pronounce this word as executive. Executive. You said electoral. You said election. Then you said government. You said capital. You said education. Then you said participate. Now, that word is executive. Okay? Executive. Electoral. All right? Election. Government. Government. Capital. All right? Education. Then participate. Okay? The primary stress is on the T. Okay? Participate, not participate. Most of your words that end in A-T-E, you place the primary stress on the third syllable counting from the back. Okay? You place the primary stress on the third syllable counting from the back. So please take note of that. Jafar. Jafar, you pronounce this word C-A-T-E-R as kata. Kata. It is cater. Cater. Okay? Not kata. Then you said in the local levels. The correct preposition to be used should be at. Okay? At the local levels, not in the local levels. Then you also said legally. Please take note of that. Then please, I think naturally you are a fast talker. Okay? Learn how to speak slowly. If I don't tell you this, you won't believe it. I'm a stutterer. I'm a stammerer. But you may not know, because I've learned how to master it over the years. You can do the same, okay? You are a very good speaker. So please take note of that. All right. Aliyah, you were also speaking too fast. And I think the reason behind yours was the fact that you committed your speech to memory. All right. And you were trying to push out everything, within the limited time. All right, please. It is not a crime to memorize your speech, but there is a mastery. There's a mastery behind that also. And I know you will do better next time. Okay, now to the rebuttal. Okay, I think all of that had been mentioned. So I would like us to appreciate every one of us here this morning. So let's start with, wait. Let's start with the debaters. Please put your hands together for the debaters of today. They've all done excellently well. All right. Then please put your hands together for all the teachers in the house. Put your hands together for all the teachers in the house. All right. Then please give your judges a round of applause. Your judges, give them a round of applause. Appreciate your timekeeper, our timekeeper, please. Appreciate our timekeeper. All right. Second to the last, appreciate yourselves, please. Audience, appreciate yourself. Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. And lastly, put your hands together for Edu TV. Put your hands together for Edu TV. Yeah. Thank you. All right. The moment you've been waiting for is here. But please, like it was said earlier, every student is a winner. Okay? From Edu TV, there is no loser. So you all are winners. But for the sake of competition, we have to announce this. All right? So you were judged on the following criteria: your appearance, your composure, your points, the points you raised, and how well you were able to develop them. Then your diction, your expression, and your time management. So like I said earlier, we base our judgments on the following criteria: appearance, composure, points raised and developed, then your diction, your expression, and your time management. For instance, the chief speaker from Roseful scored 8 points under appearance, then 6 points under composure, 18 under your points, diction 14, expression 12, and your time management you scored 10. All right. Then the chief from Global Leaders Academy, 8 under appearance, 5 for composure, 20 for your point, diction 10, expression 10. Then you scored 10 in your time management, but we added 2 points extra because you were able to manage your time well. So we gave you 2 extra points on that. All right. Then the supporting speaker from Roseful International Schools, you have 8 under your appearance, 5 composure, point 18, diction 12, expression 12. You score 10. The supporting speaker from Global Leaders Academy, appearance 8, composure 5, point 10, diction 10, expression 10, management 5. However, I would like to say this: we are not judging them based on this alone. The 3 judges have their score sheets. All right, then we'll put the 3 together and came up with the final results. Is that okay? So far, I believe we've been fair enough. So under your rebuttal, Roseful, you scored 2. You scored 2 because instead of focusing on your co-debater's point, you were bringing up new points. And like Mr. Olaoni has rightly said, we gave it to global leaders and they scored 5 because the chief speaker came up again and countered some of your points. All right, so finally, we came up with the following scores. I will start from the negative team, that is those opposing the motion. That is Global Leaders Academy. Came up with a total score of 122. Put your hands together for them, please. 122. All right. While Roseful International Schools came up with 133 marks. All right. Okay. So, in summary, we can say that Roseful International Schools won the debate. All right, thank you. But like I said, you all are winners, okay? With Edu TV, we don't have a loser. Put your hands together for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.